Welcome to Anchor Network, where you get updates of things happening around you and things you would like to know. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed to this channel and those who are yet to subscribe. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click the red button and also click the bell icon so that you'll be notified anytime we publish any news. This time around, we have wonderful news for you that you will be glad that you are aware of. Stay tuned. Nigeria's former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachukwu, has admitted the failure of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to give Nigerians refinery as promised in the run-up to the 2015 presidential election. Kachukwu, who was appointed in 2015, in an interview with Punch on Saturday, said he was not ashamed to say and admit that he failed to deliver the mandate. Discussing his achievements in the last 4 years, he said he has beliefs that he has been able to steer the petroleum industry in the right directions, citing examples like the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill, and he however expressed regret that the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill was not signed by the President. The former Minister of Petroleum Resources said although he was bold to say that he could not deliver of his 5 promises on refineries, but the misunderstanding of how the system works could be blamed for the failure. If you look at the refineries, the first problem we had was that they were not functioning when I assumed office in 2015, and because of the huge apparent fuel scarcity, it was a major problem for me if I had to wait for vessels to arrive each time to meet the delivery timeline. These were the problems, so I could focus on how to get them working, at least to start, no matter how little, and all they gave me was 1 million liters a day. The pipelines that were supplying fuel had all been destroyed, and they had entered into a contract before we came in to supply products by vessels. The cost of those vessels supplied was more than the value of the crude oil that was being supplied. It did not make any financial sense, so I cancelled that and challenged Nigerians who were in this entity to go and use their money to repair the pipelines, he said. Speaking on the issue of transparency in the oil sector and how the number of crude oil being produced in a day is tracked, Kachukwu said the launching of the Department of Petroleum Resources database (DPR) has helped in the recovering of the fees. He said metering is fine, but once we capture this data, a level of metering is already going on, and we are capturing that on a day-to-day basis. I can say we are producing 2.3 million barrels using the DPR data. What I like to do, however, is to interrogate the data. We just launched it about 2 months ago. We are tracking you from when you produce to when you put it in the tank to when you deliver it and to when it is discharged. So in terms of transparency and what we produce, it is not an issue. Kachukwu also spoke on the inability of the government's efforts to get rid of illegal refineries still on operation in various locations of the country. He said metering is fine, but once we capture this data, a level of metering is already going on, and we are capturing that on a day-to-day basis. So Kachukwu is admitting that they've really failed, that they could not build refinery, but he made promise that after 2019, if he fails to build refinery, that he's going to resign. So these guys, they know what they are doing. They're just trying to play on the intelligence of Nigerians. And people were like, okay, what if you guys don't come back, or if you are not going to come back for the second term? You are saying if you can't build refinery at the end of 2019 that you are going to resign. That what if really you are not going to come back for the second time? So automatically you guys are just going to go like that. But for the now that you guys have come back, you've started your second term, what are you going to do? But with all the problems he has enumerated, meaning they can't do much about it, all the promises is just like cancelled, and there's no way forward. So that's just my own opinion concerning or based on what he has said. I would like you guys to deliberate on this, dissect, and put your comments down, and let's learn together and see whether these guys are really truthful or not, or they are just playing on the intelligence of Nigerians. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.